want to start off with that I really like your lesson. It's a very good lesson. I don't teach math, but I like your lesson. I'm sure your students will really like it. Let's start off. I want to start off with, I like how you stated the TEKS and you have how they go with your objective. You said that students will be able to use concrete models to count fractions parts beyond one whole using numbers and recognize how many parts it takes to equal one whole. It's a good objectives, but remember what we learned last week through the video textbook, that to use a SMART objective, and just remember to implement all the parts of the objectives that we learned from the video textbook so we can have it, and just keeping in mind the objectives for your ELA students. How are you going to implement the objectives for them. I like how you have right then. One thing I do want to mention, remember that we have to delete the blue in our lesson plan. Those are instructions for us that we are writing the lesson not to have. So just remember to just go back and delete all the blue from our lesson. And then the standard objective, the technology standards, to put it there. We always use technology, and you are using, I did notice you're using a PowerPoint, so there should be something there. Let me go here to your lesson. Once again, just go back. I made the same mistake. Just, we need to remember to come and delete that. I love your focus. I actually opened up the PowerPoint. The video that you use. I love it. I think it's so cute. It's so cute, and I really like it. It has a lot of visuals. Your kids, because you're doing fractions, it has a lot of visuals with how to do fractions, and I think your students and your ELA students will be able to understand and see how things are divided in fractions. Also, just maybe if you think of scripting the video and just translating it in their native language for maybe some of your low ESL students, ELA students, may not be able to understand what the video is saying. And maybe if you can just script it and translate it for them, they'll be able to read it and understand what the video is saying. But even if you didn't do that, the video, is very, you can tell, it's very visual, and they'll be able to tell what they're trying to do. Just keep in mind, maybe just translating the video, or scripting it down. Go here. Right here, you said that the objective is the same. I like that you want them talking to their peers, and like we have learned in the past that ELA students, they learn a lot from their peers, and that grows their verbal communications with peers. And peers, they speak, they're in the same age, and that interacting with peers and ELA students is very benefit for them. So I like that, and I noticed that throughout your lesson you have a lot of peer interaction. That's very good. Right here, I love this activity. I saw that you got it from, I think, Teacher Pay Teacher, and I really like it. It's very visual, with the Hershey's. Your ELA students and your non-ELA students will be able to understand the parts, the fractions and of the whole of the Hershey's, and it's really good. I love the activity. And I like that you're using a lot of technology with the smart board, so they will be able to see it, actually. And you're reading a book with them as well. And that, again, is very good, because the visuals of the books, if it has a lot of visuals, they'll be able to see it. And they might not be understanding the words, but with the pictures, that will help a lot of your ELA students. I noticed that you have the blessing of having a bilingual mentor teacher that will co-teach this lesson with you, and that is wonderful. That would definitely help a lot of your ELA students. Just keep in mind, as a real classroom, if first you're teaching, you may not have a bilingual teacher assistant. So just keep in mind, how would you translate the book and the directions for your ELA students, but not having a bilingual mentor teacher or teacher aide. So just keep in mind, how would you have them, and how would you explain that lesson to them. I mean, that's a blessing to have that. In your guided practice, I really like how you use in a lot of activities, a lot of hands-on. You use the Hershey's, and now you're using M&Ms for your guided practice, and definitely all your students will be really engaged. Just once again, making sure that your ELAs are in directions. I saw that you are, I don't know if it's things in here that you're gonna have the your mentor teacher translate the directions to your kids. Right here you're gonna have the translation, the copy translation in Spanish for your ELA students. I think that's wonderful to have that for your students. That way you make sure they understand the directions and what they have to do in their activities. And that's very good. I really like that you did that. I also noticed that they're going to be working in partners, and just keep in mind how you're going to group them together, because some of your lower ELL students, they may not have a lot of verbal communication skills with English, and just want to be strategic how you're going to group them and partner them, because your lower ELA students, they tend to just, because they're not able to communicate that well, they tend just to sit in the back and not interact so much in the activity. But just keep in mind how you're going to group them. But working in groups and with peers is always beneficial for your ELA students. So I really like that you did both of those things. That's just wonderful. For your independent practice, I like the activity. It's they are be able to use a lot of manipulatives. You have a lot of hands-on activities, and that's very engaging. Also, for your ELA students as well, for your non-ELA students. So it's a wonderful activity for your independent practice. It's a wonderful. Again, you're gonna have them working in peers. That's how you're gonna group them together. Are they gonna be the same peers? Just always keep that in mind. And again, you have a lot of that. You're going to be working with your mentor teacher that is bilingual. And again, just how will you teach this lesson without having your mentor teacher or a bilingual aide? How will you teach this lesson? Just keep in mind that. For that is, again, this is wonderful. I absolutely loved your closer. Essay tickets is always a very good idea for a lesson, because you'll be able to understand what your student learned from the lesson. And I loved that you put that they be able to write their essay ticket in their native language. That is really good thing to do, because most of the times with their ELA students, especially the lower ones that are not able to write or read English, we are not sure and what they have learned, if they actually capture the lesson. And by having them write in their native language, they're able to express to you what they have learned, if they really understood your lesson and their objectives. And I really like that you did that. I never really thought of that, and have that idea now. Thank you for that. Selena, thank you for that. Again, you're gonna have your bilingual. How you would translate that, again, if you didn't have the bilingual aid, how you translate the lesson. It's easy. Just go to Google. But I really like it. I love that. When I read that, I really liked it. It's a wonderful idea. Overall, I love this lesson. It's a really good lesson. Just remember going back to deleting all this blue part and